Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Sema podcast. Today we're talking about something that sounds simple, but when you really think about it, it's actually quite deep. What does peace feels like as a child? Not just peace as in there's no fighting, but peace as in what does it feel like to be a child who feels safe, heard, loved, accepted, and free enough to simply be a child.
Because sometimes when we hear the word peace, we think about silence or the absence of problems. But for a child, peace can be much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It can be knowing that when you make a mistake, you won't immediately be screamed at.
Yeah.
It can be knowing that your feelings matter.
Mm-hmm.
It can be knowing what to expect when you wake up tomorrow. It can even be something as simple as being able to play without constantly worrying about what is happening around you.
Yeah. And that's exactly what we're unpacking today. So let's get into it. Let's start with the biggest question. What does peace actually mean for a child?
I think peace for a child begins with safety. It's that feeling of knowing I'm safe here.
Okay?
Safe physically but also emotionally.
Exactly. A child can be physically present in a place and still not feel emotionally safe there. And peace is knowing that you are loved, you are accepted, and valued. Not only when you're doing everything right, but also when you're struggling, when you make mistakes, when you do the wrong things.
And there's also stability. Knowing what to expect, knowing that people around you are dependable.
Yeah.
Knowing that tomorrow doesn't feel completely unpredictable.
Yes. So, in a way, peace gives a child room to just be a child, to learn, to play, to make mistakes, to ask questions, and most importantly, to discover who they are without constantly living in fear or stress.
And that brings us to emotional safety.
Yeah.
Because children have so many emotions, but they don't always have the words to explain them. They can feel anger, sadness, fear, joy, boredom, loneliness, and so many other things.
Yes. And imagine being a child who feels like you have to hide every emotion because you're afraid of being punished, or mocked, or even yelled at. That's no emotional peace.
Exactly. Emotional safety means a child can say, I'm angry, or I'm scared, or even, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And instead of immediately dismissing them as an adult, take the time to understand what's happening.
Yes, because being held can be peaceful. Sometimes the child isn't asking you to solve everything. They are not asking you to solve their problem or anything. But they just want you to hear them. They want to know that you are listening to them. You're understanding what they are doing, instead of just dismissing them without even trying to hear what's going on or the information they're trying to pass to you. And when we talk about peace in a child's life, we can't ignore relationship. Parents, caregivers, siblings, teachers, and even friends, yes, can all influence how the child experiences the world.
Especially parents and caregivers.
Yeah.
They're also some of the child's earliest emotional anchors.
Yeah.
The way
Primary
an adult
anchors.
communicates, reacts to mistakes, and handle conflict can influence whether a child experiences the environment as safe or frightening.
Yeah. And siblings can also become an important source of comfort. Sometimes your sibling is literally the person who understands what's happening in the house because you're experiencing it with them. Of course, you're living together, so you're definitely experiencing it with them.
And there are teachers.
Yeah.
No, school isn't only a place where children learn mathematics, English, or science.
Yeah.
It's also a social and emotional environment. The positive teacher can make a child feel seen, encouraged, and capable.
And then, of course, the friends. Yeah, we have friends. Children actually form friendship, yeah, easily. And having someone they can laugh with, play with, and talk to can create a sense of belonging. They feel seen, they feel heard. And so peace isn't something a child experiences alone. It's often created through a web of safe and supportive relationship.
Okay. Another thing that can bring peace to a child is stability. Children don't necessarily need every day to be perfect.
Yeah.
But having some predictability can make life easier to navigate.
Yes, exactly. Things like know when it's time to eat, when it's time to study, play, rest or sleep. Those little routines can give a child a sense of order.
And when a child knows what to expect, they may feel less anxious about what comes next.
Yes, which is why peace doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes peace looks like a normal morning, a familiar routine, a safe home, a teacher who is patient, a parent who listens, a child knowing I know what tomorrow is going to look like. Yeah. something. And now let's talk about let's talk about my favorite part of childhood, and that is play.
Because children are supposed to play.
Exactly, running around, coloring, playing football, building things, creating imaginary words. Like sometimes adults just look at these things and think they're just playing. But play is actually an important part of childhood, and
Yeah, it's one of the ways children explore their world, express themselves, connect with others, and simply enjoy being children.
Yes, and there's something beautiful about watching a child become completely absorbed in play. I mean, for those few moments that you're not just thinking about tomorrow's assignment or other problem, they're just present, that they're doing it. That's the major thing.
And that's another way peace can feel. Sometimes peace feels like laughter, sometimes it sounds like children running around.
Exactly.
Sometimes peace is simply having enough freedom to be young.
Yeah, and let's be honest, everybody wants to feel understood. Children are no different.
Yeah, a child who says I'm sad shouldn't automatically hear there's nothing to be sad about.
Yeah.
Sometimes that response can make a child feel like their emotions don't matter.
Yes, like instead, imagine saying, okay, tell them what happened. I'm listening. Like if a child comes to you with a problem, you tell them, say, okay, tell me what happened. I'm listening. Understand why that made you feel that way, And that doesn't even mean agree with everything the child says, but you're opening the floor for them to communicate with you. It means creating space for communication, yes.
And sometimes communication doesn't even require many words.
Yeah.
Eye contact, listening, a calm response, a reassuring presence, even appropriate affection. Listeners can communicate, I see you, you matter.
Yeah. But if peace can be created, it can also be disrupted. So what are those things that can take peace away from a child's world?
Conflict and violence.
Yeah.
Unstable environment. Constant fear, feeling unsafe, being constantly pressured or overscheduled.
Yes. And chronic invalidation, yeah. When a child repeatedly feels ignored, dismissed or treated as though their feelings don't matter, it actually damages their peace. It makes them feel more anxious and more stressed than they ought to be.
And sometimes adults don't even realize how much pressure a child is carrying.
Yeah.
A child can look like they're doing well on the outside, while internally they are overwhelmed.
Yes, which is why we have to pay attention, not just to the child's performance, but to the child themselves. Don't look at what is going on outside, but emotionally try to understand what is actually going on internally. You understand? Sit with them, talk to them and stuff like that. Listen to them. Communication is key.
So what can adults actually do to create more peaceful environment for children?
First, regulate yourself. I mean, children can pick up on emotional atmosphere around them. Yeah, anyone.
Second, establish healthy boundaries. Boundaries don't have to make a child feel afraid. It can actually help children understand what's expected and what is safe.
Yes, and third, protect their downtime. Children need time to rest. They need time to play. They need time where they can constantly, they're not constantly being pushed from one activity to another.
And finally, learn to repair. Adults will make mistakes. Parents will lose their temper sometimes. Teachers will make mistakes. But whatever happens after the mistake matters. So apologizing, taking responsibility, and reconnecting with a child can teach them that conflict doesn't have to mean the end of a relationship.
Yes. Now here's an interesting question. Is peace the same thing as happiness?
I don't think so. They are connected but they're not the same.
Exactly. The answer is no, they're not the same. I mean, happiness can be the feeling of excitement or joy in a particular moment. It's temporary. It's not something that happens consistently.
Yeah, it can become sad. The happiness can change.
Yes, exactly. Why peace is deeper is that underlying feeling of safety, calm and stability.
A child can be extremely happy while playing with friends. For example, but that doesn't mean they feel safe or secure in every part of their life.
Yes, I like to think about it this way. Like happiness can feel like riding a roller coaster, right? And there's excitement, there's movement, and all this intense emotion. But peace is knowing you're completely safe on the tracks. So even when life gets exciting or difficult, there's an underlying sense of security.
Okay, and this is why peace isn't just a nice thing to have.
Yeah.
It matters for development.
Yeah, when a child feels safe, and supported, they have more room to learn, they have more room to explore, build relationship, make mistakes, and even develop confidence. Very
A
important.
peaceful environment can give a child the foundation to grow emotionally, socially, and academically.
Yes, and that's important because childhood doesn't stay in childhood. Okay, this experience students have can influence how they understand relationships, communicate their emotions, and even navigate challenges as they grow. So whatever they go through as a child, actually they grow with them. So it's just, I don't know, I feel like it just teach them how they're going to live their life basically.
So
What the
which
child
means creating peaceful
experiences. Yeah.
childhoods isn't only about making children happy today. It's
Yeah.
also about giving them a healthier foundation for tomorrow.
Exactly. So what does peace feels like as a child? Maybe it feels like waking up and knowing you're safe, or maybe it feels like being able to say I'm sad without being laughed at. Or maybe it feels like having someone who listens, playing outside until you're tired, or maybe it's knowing that making a mistake does not mean you have to stop being loved. Does not mean you're going to stop being loved. Yeah.
Many people are being accepted and happy where you are.
Yeah.
Having a room to grow without being forced to become someone you're not.
And perhaps something we don't say enough, children deserve peace, not just protection from danger. They deserve safe spaces to feel, safe spaces to speak, safe spaces to play, safe spaces to learn, and safe spaces to simply be themselves.
Because a peaceful child is about creating a life where nothing ever goes wrong.
Yeah,
It's about making sure that when things go wrong, the child doesn't have to keep anymore.
exactly, and that's the kind of peace every child deserves.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Summer Podcast.
Yeah, this conversation made you think about your own childhood or about children around you. We hope that you take one thing away from it. Peace can be created in little things. A listening ear, a safe environment, a moment of play, a kind response, a simple I'm here, tell me what happened.
Until next time,
Yeah.
remember to listen, connect, understand, and create space for children to be themselves.
Yes, this is the Sana podcast. Make sure you follow for more and share with a friend or any child you feel needs to know this, or parent or guidance. So see you next time and have a lovely day. Peace.